Hey guys, it's Bethany with the Wandering Purl podcast, and welcome to episode 34. I feel like I've been talking to you forever because I'm doing Vlogmas right now. So I've just been spilling my guts every day for the last 4 days. And enjoying every minute of it. So if you just watch the podcast and you don't know what Vlogmas is, I will have it linked right up here for you, or is it on this corner? One of these corners is going to have the playlist for you. It's also going to be linked down below for you. And it is a daily vlog from December 1st to Christmas. So you can follow along and watch all of the crazy things that we get up to, how boring our daily lives are, but how I try to make it look interesting. And all of that fun stuff. So we would love to have you join us over there. I hope you are all having a good Advent season, a good Christmas, holiday, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate season. It's been a wild couple of weeks. I say that I think almost every time that I talk to you, but this one has been exceptionally wild, and I will talk about that in life section at the end. But we have a lot to talk about. I have several finished objects. Okay, I only have one legit finished object, but I have my secret Christmas project that I'm going to share with you, and a few other little things that I made that have been gifted that I can now talk about. I have quite a few new cast-ons, so we're going to talk about those, and I've gotten progress done on my sweater, so we're going to see that as well. And then we will also go over my stash update and see how I did horrible this month, but it's okay. We're all good. The weather, as you can see, it's been pretty cloudy all day, but just in the last 30 minutes, the sun has started coming out and going back in. So the lighting might be a little strange here for us, but we're just gonna work with it because it's winter and the sun does crazy things and winter. At least I feel like it does. You can also tell we still do not have snow like I wanted. So we had snow, and if you watched Vlogmas, you will have seen that journey. But now literally the snow is all gone again, and it's in the 40s. It's 45 degrees outside in December in northern Utah. Me and the weather are not getting along right now. I just want it to be cold and snowy. That's all I want. I mean, I want other things too, but from the weather, that's all I want. So yeah, I think that's all that I had to say in the beginning. I didn't make any notes for myself on that, so let's jump into these finished objects and chat all about it. I'm really excited to share with you some of these gifts knits that I made, and I don't have any of them with me here, obviously, because they've already been gifted, but I do have photos that I will be showing over here for you guys, along with the information on each project. So last time you might have thought, you know what, she really didn't do that much with her knitting. There really wasn't that much progress on things, and that is because I was knitting on other things, and I wasn't telling you about it. So I ended up actually making more of the sweet little alpacas, which is a pattern by Susan B. Anderson. And I made two more. I made one for my Rue. She just tried to get into something and it scared her. Hey, go lay down. She's acting like it murdered her. It was a basket of Legos. But I made two more of these little sweet alpacas. One I made for my sister Sabra, and she has already received that. And then I made another for a friend, and I haven't actually shipped that yet, but I don't think she watches my podcast, so I'm not really worried about it. But and then I made another one, and I just absolutely love these little alpacas. They are so fun to make, and love them so much. Obviously, I have this one that I made that I can show you. This is my little Miss Alpaca. And I think her name's just going to be Little Miss Alpaca because I didn't get any good suggestions or any suggestions at all, really. But she's adorable and I love her. So I made different yarns with each one. One was gray, one was a different kind of tan color. I wanted to say caramel, but that doesn't really match. And then I was thinking camel because it looks like a camel. Anyways, my mind went down a rabbit hole. But I really enjoyed making these. And again, from last time was it last time I finished her? Yeah, I think so. I used fingering weight instead of worsted, so it's much smaller than the pattern and calls for, but it worked out the same. It just makes a little smaller, tinier version, which I think is perfect and adorable. So I used a US 1 for the body and just the alpaca in general, and then a US 3 for her little blankets that you can see there. And yeah, that's about all I had to say about those. Really, really enjoy them. Thinking of making a few more for a few other friends that I have. Maybe after Christmas, we'll see. But yeah, it's a great little gift knit for anyone who is a alpaca yarn lover. The second little creature that I created was for my friend Stephanie, and she lives on a farm and has all kinds of ducks and geese and all the things. She has all the things. So I saw this pattern called Little Ducky by Claire Garland. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so cute to make for Stephanie. So I did. And I think it turned out really cute. It's a little wonky in places, but I think it still turned out cute. I did not put any information on Ravelry at first about this because I knew that Stephanie might see it. I'm not sure if she's as nosy as my sister is about looking through project pages, but I wasn't going to chance it. So I didn't write anything down for it. Like I didn't write how many grams I used. I didn't write what needle size I used. None of that stuff. But I think I used the needle size that the pattern suggests. I don't know. I didn't write it down. I'm sorry. But I love how he turned out. He's super cute. The yarn that I used is Yarn Over Floyd, which is a Virginia dyer. I got it in Virginia when I was back visiting my parents probably 2 summers ago. And the yellow, it just looked perfect for a little duckling. So I used that in the colorway Marigold. And then I also had some leftover Miss Babs mohair that I think was like kind of like a cream silvery color that I paired with it. And then I used just scraps for its beak and feet. I did a knot for the eyes. I honestly can't even remember which tutorial I used for that, but I just looked up knot eyes for like amigurumi on YouTube and followed one of the instructions for that. I think it turned out cute. Stephanie seems to like it, so that is what matters. I was really in the kick of making the little creatures in November. So yeah, I did that for quite a bit, but it was so fun. They're so cute, and there will definitely be more in my future. So that was the other secret little project that I finished last month. And then for the big secret project that literally has a project page called Secret Christmas Project, I ended up making 15 more little sweaters. This is all the information about the sweater pattern. I can't really pronounce the name of the pattern or the name of the designer, so I'm just going to have it over here for you guys so you can read it and not me butcher it. But I used US 1s for all of the little sweaters. I mostly used Moonglow Rainbow Advent scraps from last year because her colors are gorgeous and it worked out really well. So most of them are that, but not all of them. And all of 15 additional ones that I made because I had originally made 5 for my family. So I've made 20 of these little sweaters in total, but the 15 of them for this secret project, it took up 140 grams and 562 yards, which gave me 38 points for the pigskin party. So I'm going to be putting the pictures up for you to see of them, but I did them for my sister Sabra's family and my nieces and nephew and my brother-in-law Aaron, and that was really fun. I got to send those off to them a couple weeks ago, right after the last podcast, I think. And then I also made them for my friend Stephanie and her kids and husband, and sent that with their Christmas package. And then also I made them for my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and little niece, which I have not mailed off yet. They're actually, I could show you. No, I can't because they're already packaged. I already packaged them up. Sorry. But there is the picture. But I'm mailing that to them probably this week. And then I have another friend that I made a set for that I'm also mailing off this week. So I really think that they turned out really cute. They're like my little Weasley sweaters. And I really enjoyed making them. And it's something that I think people will be able to use for Christmas decorations for the coming years, hopefully. And hopefully everyone thinks that they're cute that got them too. So I was on a little sweater kick for sure. But that was the big secret project that I was working on. I think I did those in October. I think it was back in October when I knit up all of those. Or maybe it was November. I don't know. It was some time ago when I did it. But it literally took me like, I could do like maybe 1.5, 2 sweaters a day. So it took me a while to make 15 of them. So yeah. I'm sweatered out now though for mini sweaters. But hey, I can say that I made like 15 sweaters in 1 month. Look at me go. Doesn't matter that they're this big. Okay, so those were all of the projects that I had finished and not shared with you previously, because all of these were done prior to the last podcast episode. But of course I wasn't going to show them. I need some water, so hold on a sec. I've been doing a lot of talking recently. So the other actual real finished object for this podcast is my Jervis Gloves, which is a pattern by Alexandra Brink. The pattern, or the yarn that I use, is from my sweet friend Heather. I absolutely love this yarn. I don't know why it took me almost a year to knit with it, because it's gorgeous yarn and I still have quite a bit left of it, so I'm really happy with that. So the yarn is by Lolodidit, and it is her Lolo Original in the colorway Happy Endings, which is a Downton Abbey colorway, which made me love it even more. It was from her 2021 Downton Abbey. I think she had like a club. Yeah, Downton Abbey club. So I absolutely loved the yarn. I love how they turned out. I used a US 0 for this pattern, 2mm, and then also a US 1.5, which is a 2.5mm. I made the small size. They knit up really quickly. Well, no, actually I lied. They did not knit up quickly. The 1x1 twisted rib took ages. And once I finished one, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do that again. But that's okay. I love the results and I'm really excited to start wearing them. But I made this from November 15th to November 29th. My goal was to have these finished in November, and I did it. So I was really happy with that. I took 57 grams for the small size and 250 yards, which got me 17 points for the pigskin party. So are you ready to see them? Let me put them on so I can show you, but I really, really love how they turned out. I have already had requests to make more. Do you remember me saying that I wanted to make these for my husband? And he was like, oh, no, I don't want those. No, I'm not really interested in those. Guess who wants a pair now? The husband. I was like, you want a pair now, don't you? He was like, yeah, kind of. So now I'm going to be making him a pair at some point, probably after Advent season, because I'm a little busy at the moment. And then my youngest, Grayson, came in and was like, I really like those. Can you make me some? So I'm going to be making him some too. Probably first, because he asked and didn't deny them. I know Brian watches this sometimes, so he'll get a kick out of it. But I have at least 2 more pairs of these in my future. But I think that they turned out amazing. I'm really, really happy with them. And I love the twisted rib. This is a double cuff, so it has the joined right here, which I did wrong both times, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, I love them. So I did this one first, and I love how it turned out. And then this was my second one. And I don't know, for some reason, this one seems to be better than this one a little bit. I don't know. But I'm really, really happy with how they turned out, as I've said 100 times. And on Ravelry, I have how many rows I did for each finger, because they have a place in the pattern where you get to write that. And I was really happy that they had that. So I just copied that over to Rav for anyone who wants to kind of get an estimate of how many you might want to do. But the fingers weren't actually as hard as I thought they were going to be. I was actually just so excited to be doing stockinette and not be doing this 1x1 twisted rib. So yeah, I didn't mind the stockinette part at all. And I used Magic Loop, but I had thought about doing DPNs for the fingers as well. And when I make them again, I might do that, but it was okay with the Magic Loop. I was too lazy to get up and get my DPNs out of the bag. So I finished these, really, really happy. Now I get to make 2 more pairs at least, and you'll see those probably in the new year. So I have 4 works in progress to share with you. 3 of them are Advent related, and then we have my Star Wars sweater that I am still working on. So we're going to talk about that first, since it is one that you already know about and not Advent related. So this is the Star Wars sweater by Natalie Meredith. I started on November 16th. I'm using a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and I believe it is a couple sizes smaller than what the pattern recommends, but I got pretty good gauge on it. I'm making the size 56, and I am using Cascade Heritage 6 in true black and silver gray. And I'm about to get to the exciting part. So let's talk about what it's being housed in. Can you tell me what this bag is? I bet you can. It's Cottontail Farms. NeonSol. I am like a broken record when it comes to these, but you know, it's just what it is. Let me see. Here is the tag for the yarn in case you are interested. This is the Heritage 6, and it is a sport weight yarn. And it just tells you like the lot number and everything. So that is what I'm doing with it. I have everything, all but one gray is caked up. So I don't even know if I'm going to need that gray. I think I'm going to need more black yarn, actually. So I have done a lot on this since the last time that we talked. This has a lot of dog hair, a lot of Dalmatian glitter, a lot of cat hair on it. It's black. There's no getting by not having it on there, so I apologize for it looking like a hot mess. But it's just going to look like that. So as you can see, it doesn't look too bad on screen. No, it does. There it is. Okay, where is my little stitch marker? So last time, look at all that glitter. Last time that I podcast, I was right here, so I had done that much, and I have completed, oh my goodness, the amount of fuzz. I have gone all the way and completed to under the arm, which is to right here. And then this is the back part. You start working the back and the front panels separately. So I have completed the underarm or the back arm, the arm decreases is what I've completed here. And I am now ready to start the color work. So tonight, if I get time to work on this tonight, I have a lot of editing to do and Advent things. I'm going to start on the color work, which I am excited and scared to do all at the same time because I've heard that it's complicated and frustrating. So we're just going to see. I'm going to do my best, and I really, really want to get it done. So we'll see how it goes. I might have to fudge some things. I'm not sure. But I am using my Lantern Moon. Oh, sorry, that was the mic. My Lantern Moon needles, and then these are my Fox and Pine stitch stoppers, which I love. Both of these progress keepers are from Simply Serving. This one is a little tree that I love. And then I was like, I have Star Wars stitch markers. Why am I not using them? Since this is a Star Wars sweater, and this is my little Ewok from Simply Serving as well. I am on the, what is it, the 5th ball? No, the 4th ball of black. I only have one more ball of black left, and I still have to do the sleeves. So I think I'm probably going to need at least one more ball of that, and probably didn't need as many grays as I purchased. So yeah, I'm not really sure what to do about that, but yeah, we'll see. I'm also going to move up. Actually, I'm going to use my little Ewok for this one and move it up to where we are so that next time, hopefully next time it'll be done, or I'll be on the sleeves at least. But because it'll be 20th, 21st, something like that. And it'll be nearing Christmas and I need to get this done. So I'm trying to work on this at least an hour a day. That's my goal. I might have to bump that up a little bit if it's not going quick enough, because I'd really like it to be done by Christmas. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't think Ryan knows about it yet. I'm just looking for my next project bag. I don't think he knows about it. At least he hasn't mentioned that he knows about it. But now that I'm getting into the color work part, I'm going to have to probably work on it when he's not around, because he's going to start asking some questions. So we'll see. Okay. Next, on to a new project. So this is my Advent socks for 2023. This is something that I'm doing with my friend Stephanie, that you guys all know Stephanie. We're doing the Freckled Whimsy version this year. She also got us the Cozy Knitter Advent skein. That sounds better. But we're going to do that one in January, I think. So we're spacing them out so we're not doing them all at the same time. I started this on December 1st. Actually, I started it a little earlier because I worked on the cuffs before that. But we're just going to say December 1st. I'm doing 64 stitches, and I did a 20 row 2x2 ribbing for the cuff. Holding this in my Mountain State Stitches bag. It's her small bag that I love. Also, before I show you this, these are the Yarn Cozy Lights by Nitty Natty, but knit by my friend Stephanie for us to use this Advent season, which is so cool. And you can see there are the skeins. So me and Stephanie were kind of a little surprised that every skein didn't start at the same place. It was something that we were a little, I don't know. I've seen that most people, I think, are happy with it being different. I kind of like the idea of knitting it all together all the same. But that's just my preference, and I think Stephanie's as well. So we decided to cake ours up in a way that we can knit them together and then be the same colors each day. You know, everybody has different preferences and nothing is wrong at all. So that's just the way that we're doing it, and we are enjoying it. And I have day 1 through 3 done. I haven't done today's yet. But here is number 1, and this is a little stitch marker, but number 1. Sorry, I'm getting myself confused. This is a little stitch marker that Stephanie gave me last year, and I believe it's from Simply Serving as well. So I'm using that on this one. And then the other one that I have done is right here. Looks exactly the same. And this is a stitch marker that Stephanie gave me 2 years ago, I think, that she made herself. So it's a very Stephanie project that I am loving every second of. Using US 1 2.25 millimeter Child Goo magic loop, and just chugging along on those. This is the yarn that I am using for the heel, cuff, and toes. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm using this for the heel yet. I haven't decided, but definitely for the toes and for the cuff. And I believe this is Surella yarn that I used in my first Radvent, but I'm not 100% sure. It was just in my scrap jar, and I don't have a scrap jar, a scrap bag, and I pulled it out and thought it would work well. So that is the first Advent project. Really enjoying it. Really quick, easy, something I can do in like 30 minutes, so it's awesome. My next Advent project is something that I've been wanting to make for probably 2 years, and I just finally decided this was the year I was going to do it. And I'm really enjoying it so far. So this is what I'm calling the Advent mini socks, and the pattern is Tiny Tree Socks by Summer Lee. I started these on the 1st. I'm using a US size 1 for these as well, which is a 2.25 millimeter. Also using Chiaogo's. Magic Loop. I don't know. That's just my go-to. I'm wanting to make 12 of these through Advent, so my goal is one every other day, and I'm really loving how they are turning out. The pattern is brilliant. Summerly has just amazing patterns, and this one is also free, so that makes it even better. But she has it where you can knit with a heel flap and gusset or an afterthought heel. So the first one I did is this one. And I am using yarn from the scrap advents that I am opening each day. And this one was Stephanie's that she gifted me, which is for her day 1. And I did the afterthought heel flap and gusset for this one. I'm just using a little cream ball of scrap yarn that I had. I'm gonna run out of it soon, and then I'm just gonna change and do something different, so they're not all gonna be the same. But the heel flap and gusset was a little harder than not harder, but it's not as smooth as the next one, let's just say that. So this was my first one that I did on the 1st, and then the second one that I did the afterthought heel, and that is this one. And I really just like the way that the afterthought heel looks better. I think it just kind of is more cohesive and not quite as janky as the other one. And that 100% could just be me being janky and doing it. But I think I'm just going to go with the afterthought. It was easier and less to think about, honestly. So I think from now on, I'm going to be doing this. This yarn is from my friend Laurie, who is also my swap partner. And I think this was the day 1 for her, but I did this one last night on day 2. And wait, no, day 3 is the day that I did it. The dogs are going to bark. So I'm on my goal of doing these every other day. I'm really enjoying them. Last night I ended up measuring how much I used for the cuff, toe, and heel. I used 1.19 grams, and then for the main color I used 2 grams, so it's less than 4 grams to make one of these, and they are super cute. So I'm happy that I am finally doing these, and once we get our Christmas decorations up, which they still are not up yet, I will be adding these probably to our tree. So I'm loving that pattern. It takes maybe an hour to make up the little sock, so it's not long. It's like one episode of something. That's how I measure my knitting, is on how many episodes of something it takes. Like with the little sweaters that I was making, I was watching Clone Wars during them, and I was like, okay, well, I can get the whole top of the sweater done in one. I can do the whole bottom of the sweater in another episode, and then I can do the sleeves in a 3rd episode. So it was like an hour of TV that I watched, because they were 20 minutes each. So 60 minutes of it. That's how I was measuring it. I'm ridiculous. Okay, I have one more project to show you, and it is another Advent project that I cast on. This one is being housed in my Advent bag from Blush Yarns, which I am really, really loving. This bag is huge. It's holding so much stuff. Like right now, it's not even holding everything that it should be holding, but it's got a lot in there. So I am making the the Cozy Comfort Throw by A Homespun House. I started this on the 2nd, so I didn't get to start on the 1st, but that's okay because I am really enjoying it. I am using the US 8, which is a 5mm, which is what the pattern calls for. I cast on the number of stitches the pattern calls for, and I am holding scrap yarn, so advents that I am opening. I'm picking out which one I like or which one I think will go best next to the color I just knit, with a bare yarn, which is, let me get it out. This is the bare yarn. This. So this is Knit Picks, Caprita, and Superwash. I think it's Caprita. I don't know. Anyways, this is the one that I'm using. It's got cashmere, nylon, and superwash in it, so it's really soft. I have 2 of these, so I don't know. I have some other bare yarn from Knit Picks that's not the same, is not the same base, but I might end up switching to it if I run out of this yarn. I don't know. And each row, a single strand, so I'm just measuring the scrap yarn, single row takes about 1.20 grams. So if I have less than like 1.2, I'm not going to do another row, because I know I could do a magic ball and have it go throughout, but I kind of want it to, all the end colors to end on an end. It just bugs me if they're in the middle of the row, so I just can't do that. So I'm measuring to make sure I have enough to do another row once it gets really small. I am using my, what am I using? My Lantern Moon needles, and I'm also using these, which I got since the last time I saw you. My sister sent me these as a Christmas present, my little gnome stitch stoppers. I'm not sure where she got these from, but I really, really love them. So I'm really excited to be using them. I'm also using my little progress keeper from Simply Serving, which is Frosty. And this, I have 3 days done so far. This is what I have so far. I love the squishiness of this fabric. I didn't think I was going to really like it that much, but I really, really like it. Like, I'm obsessed with it. I'm enjoying it so much. So the colors that I have used so far, I have Sabra's First Day. The dogs decided to roll over the couch and act like a crazy thing. So you hear that in the background. That's what that noise is. So the first color is from Sabra's First Day of the Advent. It was a little wolf knit. And then the second color is from my swap with Amber in the Love and Stitches membership. And then this third color that I used is from my friend Stephanie. And I think this was day 2 from her Advent. So yeah, I am just loving it. The stripes aren't as big, I think, as the pattern calls for, because mine are only 10 gram minis and not 100 gram minis. But that's okay, because I'm really enjoying it, and it's just so fun. So I'm looking forward to working on this every day. I'm interested to see, I mean, I could do the math and figure it out, like how long it'll be after 25 days, but I'm not going to do that. I just want to be surprised. So we'll see how far I get in the next 20 days or so. Is that everything for that? Yep. If you are looking for a scrappy project, I highly recommend this one. It's so fun. So I'm holding that in this bag, and it has a whole bunch of other stuff. And I got this in my Blush Yarns Advent. Oh my gosh, does it smell gorgeous? I keep putting it on my hands, and it just is the best. So I'm going to do that right now. So just bear with me. My hands have been so dry because technically Utah is a desert state. So this has been so lovely. So those are all of the, what was I saying? All of the works in progress that I have. I have a couple. I wonder where the other thing went. I had another acquisition from Sabra that she gifted me. She gifted me this really cute, I can't remember where I put it. I put it somewhere safely so that I would be able to show you. Let me see if I can find it real fast. Okay, I found it. It was right over there. So she sent me this really, really, really sweet Christmas present. And it is, I'm going to read you the verse. It says, "So Jesus said to them, 'For assuredly I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you will say this to the mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you,'" which is Matthew 17:20. So it's a little stitch marker that has a mustard seed in it. I thought that was the sweet. It like almost made me cry, seriously. So I have this amazing stitch marker that I hadn't wanted to get out until I showed you guys. But I'm going to have the store linked down below for you guys. It's called jkcedesigns.com. But I'll have it linked down below. It is just amazing. I absolutely love it. And then I actually purchased something for myself, which I haven't done for a stitch marker in a really long time. This is by Gentle Island Knits, which is in PEI, which is Prince Edward Island in Canada, which I love because I love Anne of Green Gables. But I got these two little stitch markers. I have wanted some stitch markers like this for ages, and I finally got me one. And then also this little mushroom I just couldn't pass up because for some reason I have a little mushroom obsession at the moment. And I don't know why, but they're really cute. Maybe it's after being in Washington State and seeing all the mushrooms growing, but I'm loving those. So I'm excited to be able to use all of these now, even though it's Christmas and I want to use all my Christmas ones. But that's that. So I think that's all I have for that. I think, yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about the stash update next. So my stash update is a little crazy compared to last few times that I've told you about it. So this is going to be my November stash update, and yeah, let's just dive into it. So total projects I had finished in November were 5. Let me bring it up so I can tell you what they were real fast. Here we go. Okay, so I did my Santa Gnome, just sitting right there. I finished that. My Northwood sweater, which I love and was so excited, and I've worn it multiple times. The little Ducky for Sabra. Then my gloves, and also all 3 of these dogs, I swear, they're going to drive me crazy. The kids and the dogs. And all 3 alpacas. So for the alpacas, I was like, it could be 5, it could be 7, because they could be individual projects. But I'm just going to go with 5 because they're all in one Ravelry. So those were the 5 that I finished. Total grams that I knit in the month of November was 662.6, which equaled a yardage of 1,763.13. For the pigskin party, I added 682 points, which equaled out to total 995 points total at the end of November. I'm really excited to put that blanket in when I'm done, because that's going to be good. Let's see, projects, skeins that I used in projects was 5 skeins. I also gifted 1 skein, and I was given 2 skeins. Thanks, Stephanie. And then I purchased 9. So I purchased the yarn for the Star Wars sweater, and I also purchased the yarn from Moonglow for the Fairweather sweater, which I'm probably not going to be able to start till after Christmas, but at least I'll have that yarn ready. So all of that equaled out to be, I just did something weird on the computer. What did I do? Okay. All of that equaled out to 43 skeins in my stash. That is all 100 gram hand-dyed skeins. And that's a total of +9. I was doing so well. I was at, what was I at? 34. And now I just swapped the number around. That's okay. I was hoping to end the year around 30 skeins, but it looks like it's going to be more like 40 or so, and that's okay. You know, it's all just yarn, and it's okay if it's not exactly what I want. But I have really worked through my stash this year, and I'm really proud of, you know, going through and picking things that I could use for things from stash and all different things. So, I'm not discouraged by that number at all, but let me know how you have been doing with your stash. I want to hear below. Have you been adding? Have you been working from stash? No answer is right. No answer is wrong. It is perfect for you and you alone. So that's the November stash update. So life talk. We are at the end. I've always been talking for an hour. Life has been crazy the last few days because of Vlogmas. So I'm getting back into the rhythm of vlogging, of trying to find different things to vlog and not vlogging everything at once and kind of taking my time. Yeah, so I'm trying to do that. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Thank you to everyone who is new. I have had like 100 new followers or subscribers, so thank you so much. It's so nice to have you with us, and I hope you were enjoying the content. Let me know if there's anything any questions you have for the next podcast. I'll be doing questions, and I can also answer them in Vlogmas as well. And just let me know what you'd like to see, because I am loving some ideas right about now. But yes, Vlogmas is happening. It'll be linked down below, and I'm enjoying doing it. I'm also enjoying watching a lot of Vlogmases, but I'm going to talk about that in just a second. So the weather's been kind of crazy. I was talking about it earlier. This past weekend, it was forecasted to get 8 to 20 inches of snow. That didn't happen, obviously. It is Monday, and that is not snow. But I don't know, the weather kind of warmed up, and then we got rain and kind of the sleet mix, and we did have maybe 5 inches at one point, and now it's all gone. So there's that. It's also been cold, but not horribly cold. So I guess I should be grateful for that. I guess it was just last year when we were in Colorado, it was frigid cold at this point of the year. So we're even more north now, so you would think it would be even more. But in the last time we were here in December in this area, it was really snowy and really cold. So I'm not complaining, but I am a little bit. I have some sad news, and if you've watched my Vlogmas video 0 or day 0, you will have known, but unfortunately Skittles had a medical thing and did not make it. So that happened last week, about a week ago, and it's been really tough on all of us. Really tough. Really, like last week I had plans to like decorate for Christmas and do all of that stuff, and we just couldn't do it. Like it was just, we were all very sad, all very depressed. There were a lot of tears. Yeah. So there may be another bird in our future. I just don't know yet. I'm letting Brian decide that and all that kind of thing. But yeah, we miss her a lot, and it was a rough week. And adding to that rough week, which was super fun. So actually, when the podcast was uploading last time, we decided, you know what, we're going to go to Park City and get dinner. Because I wasn't going to cook that night. And we were driving, Brian was driving, and the truck was really bouncy. And I'm like, what is wrong? We were like, what is wrong with this? So we were going to check it when we got there. And about 2 miles before our exit to get off the highway, we hit like a little bump, and then all of a sudden the bumping stopped. And I was like, you need to pull over. I was like, that should not have happened. Like, that's just not right, like, to do that. And while we were pulling over, our tire flew off. So our tire just flew. It was the front passenger tire. And thank God he was watching out for us 100%. And I thank God for Brian's good driving and like getting us to the side when we did. Because our tire was absolutely gone. We cannot find that tire. It's gone. It wasn't like the bolts that hold it in just sheared right off. So we don't know if it was loose. I guess it was loose, and that's what the bumping was coming from. But we had just been on a really curvy, dangerous area of the road, and there would have not been somewhere that we could have pulled over. And once we got to the straight part is when it happened. So I am so thankful, because it could have been so bad. So bad. We are all okay. It was scary, you know, like in the moment. Like I hopped out of the truck after we had pulled over, and I was like, oh, the tire's gone. Like, that's gone. Felicity said she saw it fly off, and it was like in those videos where it just goes wee and bounces and everything. So yeah, we were probably going about 60 when we started to pull over. And yeah, we had to call a tow truck. And we don't know really anyone in the area. I mean, I have Laurie, who I know, but she was hours away at that point, and I've met her twice, so I wasn't gonna call her anyways. But you know, we don't know anyone, so we're kind of like, how do we get home, which is 20 minutes away in the middle of nowhere. So the tow truck guy took us and dropped us off. He was really, really sweet. He dropped the truck off at this place that was like 4 miles down the road or something. And then he was really sweet and dropped us off where we were going to get food. So we got food, and then we ended up getting an Uber, which we were really grateful for because not a lot of people come out to where we live. It's like 20 minutes in the middle of nowhere is where it is. But this guy needed to run his car down, the gas in his car a little bit because he needed to have it checked for something. So he was like, oh, I saw it and I thought that would be the perfect way to run the gas down. So that was like a God thing for sure. Thank God insurance ended up paying for it. We got a new tire and all that stuff. And this was the day before Thanksgiving that this happened. So, or was it 2 days before Thanksgiving? Yeah, it was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And then the next day the guys had it and were working on it and they actually fixed it, but we didn't know they fixed it until after they had closed. And we had gotten a rental car, which was an hour away where we had to get the rental car. So Brian had to get an Uber to go all the way down to Orem, which is almost to Provo, if you know the Utah area. And that was another God thing where the guy was like, oh, I was just up here and I have to go back that way anyways. And I was just so thankful that we could find an Uber that would do that. So he went and got that, and then we had Thanksgiving. And then we got the car back on Black Friday, or the truck back on Black Friday, and we were able to have the rental for a few days. So Brian drove that. But now every time I drive the truck, if it starts shaking a little bit, which it's a big truck, so it's not a smooth ride at all. Like, you're always getting some shaking, and the speed limit's like 70 out here, so you're going really fast. So I have a little PTSD every time we drive the truck now. And we don't know how the tire got loose. Brian had checked it when we moved to this campground, which was just like 2 weeks earlier, and it was fine. So we don't know if like something failed or if somebody did something to it at work or when we were out or something. I don't know. I'm just really, really thankful that God had his hand of protection over us, and that, you know, it was a God thing for sure. So praise you, God, for that. And thank you so much. So much. So that was wild and crazy. That and Skittles all happened within a week. So it was a rough week. And then I had to start Vlogmas a few days later, and I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. It was a rough end of November, that's for sure. But so far December's been better, so looking forward to that. So I'm going to move on to not the craziness of my life, but what I've been watching. Lots and lots of Vlogmas is what I've been watching. I'm going to have a list right here of all the Vlogmasers that I am watching, and I'll have them linked down below in case you want to check them out as well. Off the top of my head, we have Nitty Natty, who is a fave and a must watch. She's in her van this year, which is really fun because I can relate to a lot of the things that they talk about. And then we have Crafty Christina is going to have hers. Crafty Kristen J with her sweet and adorable little girl, made by Maddie, is also doing it. Then my friend Allison of the I can never say it right, the Nap Time Knitting podcast. Then who else was it? The Knitting Expat, Nina is doing it, and I'm really enjoying hers. She's over in the London area, I believe. And then, of course, there's Allie of This Little Wonderful Life, and I really feel like I'm forgetting somebody. If I am forgetting them, they're going to be over here, and I did not forget you on purpose. I really do feel like I'm forgetting somebody, though. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting you, but I'm going to have them all listed and right here, and I'm wanting to try some new ones this year. I have a list of some, but I just haven't had the chance to do it yet. So we'll see. Maybe. Also, outside of that, before Vlogmas started, I was continuing to watch Dr. Quinn. I am almost at the end of season 3, so Dr. Mike and Sully are about to get married. The Colleen switch has happened, which I thought that happened at like the in-between seasons, but it happened like, bam, one episode, she's different. It was so weird. But I like the new Colleen, so it works out. And then Brian and I finished watching Bake Off, which we thoroughly enjoyed. Really happy with the outcome of that, and just enjoyed watching it. We also watched something else, but I honestly cannot remember what it was. I don't remember. So that's all I got for you. But I would love to see you over on Vlogmas if you want to see more content, want to get some more sneak peeks of what projects I am working on. I don't think I'm going to cast on anything else between now and the next podcast, so it'll probably just be these projects again, and probably no finished ones except for the little socks. But that's Vlogmas season. That's Advent season. So I hope you guys have a wonderful December, a wonderful Hanukkah. I think is coming up if you celebrate that, or any other holidays coming up. And stay safe out there. Don't let your tires fly off like ours did. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye. But I use, if I say but one more time, goodness, I need another water break. I spit water out. Did you see that? Got a hole in my mouth. No. Yes. Yes. Keep getting interrupted. Oh, thanks. Have fun with that.